You're Hans the Cobbler?
Yes, sir.
I'm very pleased to know you.
How do you do, sir?
You've no idea what this is all about, have you?
No, sir.
Well, I'm the father of the ugly duckling. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh. You're La's father, I see.
That little story helped him over a bad time, Hans. I'm very grateful to you.
Oh, well...
And when I began to make inquiries, I found you had a lot more of these stories. The children are full of them these days. Do you ever write any of them?
Oh, no, sir.
Well, I have a little surprise for you. Come. Give me a small sheet of paper.
Oh. Thank you very much. It's the finest present I've ever had.
I'm delighted. Lars will be, too.
Could I say something, sir? You wouldn't mind?
Of course not. Say anything you want to.
Well, instead of Hans the Cobbler, could it say Hans Christian Andersen? Like a real writer?
Certainly. And Hans, if you write some of those stories down, just the way you tell them to the children, I'll print them and pay you for them.
I can hardly believe it. When will this be in the paper?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
It'll say, Hans Christian Andersen, all day tomorrow.
All day. Well, goodbye, sir.
Goodbye.
All day. Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The Ugly Duckling by Hans Christian Andersen. I'm Hans Christian Andersen, that fortune has smiled upon. Although I'm a duckling, today, tomorrow I'm a swan. A tale I told and it turned to gold as a tale can be. I laugh, ha, but I blush a bit, for I realize while I'm reading it that it's also reading me. By Hans Christian Andersen, I am a swan. I write myself a note each day and I place it in my hat. The wind comes by, the hat blows high, but that's not the end of that. For round and round the world it goes. It lands here right behind myself. I pick it up and I read the note, which is merely to remind myself I'm Hans Christian Andersen. Andersen.
Peter.
I'm Hans Christian Andersen. I bring you a fable rare. There once was a table who said, oh, how I'd love a chair. And then and there came a sweet young chair, all dressed in a bridal gown. He said to her in a voice so true, now I did not say I would marry you, but I would like to sit down. I'm Hans Christian Andersen. Andersen's in town.
The Ugly Duckling by Hans the Cobbler.
You're looking at a writer, Peter. A real writer. Tomorrow the newspaper will say Hans Christian Andersen all day.
Is that what the newspaper wanted, Hans?
Yes.
They printed one of your stories.
Yes. And the way it happened, Peter, is like a story in itself. Wait till you hear. Peter, from now on, if anybody asks you who you're working for, you can say a writer. You are working for a real writer.
The Ugly Duckling by Hans the Cobbler.
Uh-huh.
I can hardly believe it.
Peter? Can you imagine the schoolmaster's face? One day a newspaper arrives from Copenhagen, and he opens it up, and he looks, and suddenly, he can't believe his eyes. Hans Christian Andersen, he says. Hans the Cobbler? A story by Hans Christian Andersen? Fine story. How about it?
Hey, look, there's something on your hand. It says something, look.
I must have been from the printing machine. Peter. Look.
Royal Danish